Welcome back to the Boy Time channel. Today, top 5 reactions of 2024, excluding new releases and things that we've already heard. A lot of
Absolutely.
exceptions with kind of that come with these lists, but I think we've done this the past 2 years, so
Mhm.
it'll be similar to the retrospective. We're just going to talk about our favorite five out of the year that we've done. This year was weird because we did a lot of new releases, so
Yeah.
if you are interested in our new releases, all top 10 of 2024, that's our last video that we did. So check that out. It's a long
Yes.
one, but I thought it was pretty nice.
It
Um,
has an interesting energy to it.
it does have an interesting energy to it, a lot different than our usual videos, but a lot of surprises, different picks that I didn't see coming in that video. So
Yeah.
check it out. But this will be the last of the year. So we're putting a bow on 2024 with just a easy, chill convo video almost of a top five.
Yeah.
Um, we have the SOS Deluxe Lana. That'll be next week because, of course, SZA has to drop in the last week of the year. I
Absolutely. Yeah. Didn't you
honestly
do that
kind of
last
expected
time?
that. She did that with SOS too.
Yeah.
I think she does it like because then you can cheat it and be on 2 year-end lists
Oh.
because some people don't count December and I don't usually. So um, yeah, we'll have that coming next week.
Yeah.
But I think we can just dive in. I think we each got five. I got an honorable mention as well. Um,
I
but
don't.
I think we'll have you start this time with number
Okay.
five.
My number five. I tried not to because we did two discography deep dives. I didn't want to just
Yeah,
have
true.
all of Bon Iver on my top five and then whatever. So whatever. I'm just going to have Bon Iver at my number five. Yeah, this is my second favorite Bon Iver project. I really, really like the soft rock stuff, and it's only grown on me since we did that reaction. And I've been listening to it recently too, and it still goes really hard, or as hard as Bon Iver can go, I guess. Um, but this is just like right up my alley. I absolutely love like soft rock, folky stuff. And this is before he went completely over the edge into weirdo experimental bleep bloops, which I also like. But
Mhm.
this is like that perfect balance where it's like that right level of like, it's not quite like as stripped back as for Emma, but it isn't so overproduced as it would get later. It's just like right in the middle, and I really, really like that. And of course, like songs like Beth Rest or Towers or Minnesota, Wisconsin, those are
Sure.
classics. I love those. I know you love Holocene. That one,
Mhm.
I do like it, but I don't get why it's the most. I like Towers more than I like Holocene,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I don't know if that's a hot take, but it is my humble opinion.
The whole record's good, so I don't know if it can be too hot of a take.
Okay. Well, it's my number five, so I like all of the songs on there. But yeah, that's my number five.
Sweet. Yeah, I won't have any Bon Iver on this list because I've heard all of them a million times, so I'm not going to put them on this list. But I
22
do love
million
all of them.
times.
22 million times.
Yeah.
I love them all. I don't love I actually. That's the only one I don't like that much. Um, my number five is Plastic Beach by the Gorillaz.
Ooh.
Um, This is, I think, both of our, well, actually, yeah, both of our first Gorillaz albums,
Yeah.
um, which we dove right into the deep end with the most conceptual one. But I think that's what I liked about this album the most is just like it sticks to the concept so hard to the point where like it's kind of hard to you have to listen to the full album to really get it, and listening to things out of turn is probably not advised for this thing, which you probably shouldn't be doing much anyways. But yeah, I think this was really great. I love the kind of synths and the weirdo stuff they were doing on this. I love all the features. I like super fast jellyfish. That song is crazy. Um, Sweepstakes with Most Def is insane. The
Yes.
just over the top craziness of this record is awesome. But then you also have like absolute bangers like Melancholy Hill that are just this amazing synth pop. I love Cloud of Unknowing with Bobby Womack too. That is just
Oh
incredible.
yeah.
I don't come back to this album a lot just because like it is an hour long and it is very conceptual. But if I'm feeling a little quirked up and really want to dive into something, like Plastic Beach is the go-to because it is
Yeah.
so much fun and so introspective, and the climate change messaging is awesome. I'm still searching for my perfect cover in the record store. I know there's like 4 different covers of different times of day. I'm just looking for that. I think there's like a blue nighttime one. I really want that one.
Oh,
So, yeah, fantastic. I feel like we'll probably do more gorillas eventually. I think we should do the
yeah,
classics at least. But yeah, a lot of fun on this one.
absolutely. Yeah, I think that one just barely missed my top
Mhm.
five. Very, very good project, but I still have not watched the music videos and all the visual things. Have
Yeah,
you?
I need to do that too.
Okay.
No, I tried to, and it's not very accessible to get into because it seems like there's an entire lore to like every character,
Oh,
and like there's so it's not easy to get into. And honestly, the album does enough for me where like I don't know if I need the extra layer of like this animated series going along
sure.
with it. But
Fair enough. Fair enough. My number four is Tallahassee by the Mountain
oh, that's a
Goats.
good one.
This is, yeah, I don't know. In any other year, this might have been my number one. I really, really, really like this album in a way that I don't think that I was really expecting to. Because I
Mhm.
think I heard like one song. It's just like, because someone suggested it after some album we did. And then I listened to one song. I'm like, that's fine. I'll add it to my wheel. But then I didn't remember what it sounded like. And then we got into it, and I didn't know it was going to be a concept record, too. And it's just all about this couple that's their relationship is falling apart. And it's just very, very nice. Well, it's not nice. It can be a little stressful at times.
Oh yeah.
There's some like lyrics that are like mean. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Um, Very blunt, I'll say. But it's a fictional character, so it doesn't really matter.
Sad.
Um, it's not like Father John Misty just being like, "Hey, my wife sucks, and here are the things I don't like about her," in that one song,
Yeah.
which is one of my favorite Father John Misty songs. But I digress. Yeah, this is like right away, like I started playing some of these songs on my guitar, and like Tallahassee and No Children, those are like two of the funnest songs to play on guitar. I don't know what it is, but man, it's just a blast. I'll play like Tallahassee twice in a row because it's just so much fun. So yeah, this, in addition to just listening to it, I play it a lot too, and it's a very, very fun record. Well, not fun, but it's fun for me, so
Enjoyable.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, that barely missed my list, but it is also fantastic. I think we should do more Mountain Goats as well.
Yeah,
So yeah, I
I,
think there's
I don't know
uh,
what albums.
the I think the one that comes right before or right after Tallahassee. It might
Hmm,
involve a tree or something. I don't remember, but I
okay,
think that's where we should go next.
sure,
Um, all right, my number four. I have Portishead with Dummy. Our first reaction of this year.
that's right.
Um, Started off with a banger. I absolutely love this thing. I think just when it comes to atmosphere and just like this setting a mood, it's like masterful in that way. We haven't done much trip hop, and this was our first kind of dive into that, and it was really, really fantastic. I just love how moody and sensual and groovy a lot of these tracks are. The bass lines are incredible. Beth Gibbons is, of course, an amazing talent with vocals and just like the way all these tracks are structured. It's fun. It's like it's got a lot of nice topics. I think Glory Box, obviously everybody knows that track, but it is a phenomenal song. Um, yeah, it's just such a fun ride. It's very much of the 90s era, but I
Mhm.
think as 90s is kind of in right now, like I feel like we could see a trip hop revival. I know Chelsea Wolfe just had an amazing album this year that had a lot of trip hop influences, which
Mm.
came out right after we did this, which was very
Oh,
coincidental. Um, but yeah, a lot of fun. I know Rhodes is one of my favorites. Biscuit goes hard. For some reason, I love It's a Fire. I think that was like a I think it was like an exclusive for a while on a certain
oh,
disc. I don't know. There was something weird about that track, but I love the organs on that and everything. But yeah, really fantastic. I know they only have like three main records,
mm.
so we might do those on the channel. I might do those in my own time. But Dummy is phenomenal.
Yeah, very, very good. If I'm ever feeling dark and brooding, that's what I like to put on. Um, but yeah, very, very good. Did not make my list. I feel like this is good. There hasn't been much overlap yet.
I was a little scared because I feel like we agreed on a lot of things this year. So I'm like, is this
Yeah.
going to be a very similar list? But I'm glad we have variety.
At least in the lower ends of the list. I'm not sure how it's
Yeah.
gonna stack
Mm,
going
we might
forward.
have one overlap, two
Okay,
actually, but yeah.
that's true. Yeah, I could see that.
Mhm.
My number three is Seven Swans by Sufjan
Oh,
Stevens. Yeah, it's a pretty rare year when a Sufjan record is not my number one. Probably my favorite artist. Still making music. Most recently collabed with John Legend on a great little album. I think I saw an interview with him where he was like, "I want to start making music again, but I wasn't ready to like be like emotionally like put myself through that yet." So he's like, "I'm
Mhm.
just gonna make a kids record with John Legend." I'm like,
Why
you
not?
know what? Go
Do it.
off. If that's
You deserve
what, yeah, if that's gonna creatively enrich you for a little bit, then you should do that. I listened to one song and I'm like, this is not,
it. No.
no, no,
Yeah.
thank you. Because I think Sufjan just produced it. I don't think he's on it at all.
Yeah.
Um, but Seven Swans came out before Illinois, which is there. And it's a very very good record. I think it's a top three one for me. It's one that I maybe wasn't too hot on. I mean, I liked it, but then like the later half of it, the reaction, I'm like, this is too preachy.
Hmm.
Not for me. But man, it's winter time, snow on the ground,
Hmm.
cold as hell, and I've been spending a lot of time outside. And man, Seven Swans goes hard when it's wintertime. Man, yeah, it's like the perfect atmosphere, the perfect vibe. I just think we reacted to it in the wrong season. I think
I
that was
think
like
we,
a
yeah,
summer. Did that
yeah,
in the summer, and it's like you can listen to it in the summer, but what are you doing? You know, you should be
hmm,
listening to Blues Traveler or
of
Fish
course.
or Pink Floyd or
Those are
something.
those are my two artists that I go towards.
Yeah,
Fish and Sufjan.
yeah. Well,
It's all depending on the weather.
yeah, yeah. Well, you have like a very your needle goes both ways, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I love Run Around and I love Casimir Pulaski Day. Those are the two best songs
Two
in my
top
opinion.
songs ever made
Yeah. We should do that video. Top 50 songs. And it's gonna be,
ever.
yeah.
That'd be the hardest list ever to make.
Number two, Blues Traveler Run Around. Number
Okay, the
one,
other 48 would be really hard.
yeah. Well, number one would
Break
be
that Soldier
Bohemian
Boy for,
Rhapsody.
yeah, of
It's
course.
just a classic. Everyone loves that song. But yeah, Seven Swans, great little record. I really need to
Do it
stop
again.
saying that.
Do it again.
I'm not belittling Sufjan. But
Massive record.
it's a great, huge
Strong,
cinematic
muscular
record.
record.
It's not really that
No, it's
big.
not.
It's very
I
stripped
think of a
back.
lot of the records you call quaint little records. This one could be that,
I
except for
don't,
the last couple of songs.
I,
So,
well, yeah. And the Transfiguration goes hard. I like it more than
crazy.
Chicago.
Okay.
I'll say
I
that.
hold them equal. Yeah. Yeah. This also didn't make my list, unfortunately, but I had the
Wow.
same kind of thing as you, where like it did grow on me a lot once I was just listening to it on my own time, and as the year kind of went by, the preachiness dies away and the prettiness comes back in.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. My number three, a shocker, Fleet Foxes with Crack Up. This one,
Oh,
I don't know. It's a shocker in the fact that I didn't expect this to like be my favorite Fleet Foxes record out of the three we've done this year. Um, I think Helplessness Blues was late last year, but whatever.
yes.
Uh, I think this just is like the best combo of both of those records combined. Like, I think Helplessness Blues, I still haven't cracked the code on that thing. Maybe I still need to keep working with it to really get everything I'm supposed to get out of that one. But this one just like clicked immediately. I love how broad he's really going with subject matter, and a lot of it is just incredibly well written. The instrumentals are dense and varied and gorgeous. I love the pianos on this thing. It's just like adds such a nice element to their music. We have Third of May, which is incredible. Like as a 8 minute story track, just the way it's written and everything is just impeccable. It's so good. And then you have if you need to keep time on me right after.
Yep.
That's a 1-2 punch right there. Um, so many fun songs. I think I Should See Memphis is another crazy one. On Another Ocean, I have really grown to really love. I think we were both like, oh, it starts a little slow and then it really gets going. But like when I'm listening to it on my own time, it doesn't feel that way anymore. It just feels like so natural and fantastic. But yeah, it's a pretty dense record. I feel like it's odd that we both clicked with it right away because I feel like when it
Oh
comes
yeah.
to Fleet Foxes fans, they're always like, this one's a little bit tough to get into. But this one really did hit the mark for me. So
Yeah,
we'll be finishing up Fleet Foxes next year with Shore. But
absolutely.
as it stands, I think Crack Up is my favorite. It's just very nice. So
Wow. Uh, yeah, that one's the one I've spent the least time with.
mhm.
Um, I guess I'll go into my favorite Fleet Foxes one a little bit later. And by later, I
Okay,
mean we
right
have
now.
two left. No, my number two is 22 a million.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
I didn't want it to be all Bon Iver
We're
or
gonna
all
have no
Fleet
overlap.
Foxes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't think so.
We did not plan this.
That's great. Yeah, 22 a million is my favorite Bon Iver project, which is shocking to everyone, including myself. I think going
Very
into it,
shocking to me.
I think
I was scared to show you that one a little bit.
no, it's so great. I think, yeah, I mean, going into it, I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna love For Emma, and
Hmm.
For Emma's number three. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like that's surprising to myself, but man, there's just something about 22 a million where there's just a lot of great like texture work. It's one of the like best produced electronic albums I've heard in a hot minute.
Hmm.
I don't listen to a ton of them. I really need to because I it's a genre I really need to get into because I like everything that we've done that's electronic, whether it's Porter
Hmm.
Robinson or Daft Punk. But yeah, this one just phenomenal and a great closer, which I can't remember the name of because I'm a
Zero
dummy.
zero 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 million, I think.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, yeah. Because the first one is 22, and then
Yes.
the last one is all the numbers. It's hard to remember any of the track titles on that album.
Yeah.
Um, but man, it's just such a treat. And I don't know. I don't know why it clicked with me immediately. Because I think like even in like the reaction recap or whatever, I was like, this is my favorite. And it stayed
Hmm.
that way. And I really like it still. Just a great record.
Yeah. Incredible album. I've heard it for like 10 years, or not 10 years, but like 6 years, and it's still just as good as when I first heard it. It's crazy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, all right, my number two is Sade with Love Deluxe.
Ooh.
This album is so good.
Yes, it is.
um, I really loved it in the reaction, and just the more I listen to it, the more layers and stuff you pick out of it. It's just such a good listen. I still need to get it on record. I think that she just did some represses actually, so that should be available hopefully. Um,
Nice.
but there are just so many masterpieces on this thing. The opener, No Ordinary Love, is amazing. I've heard that song in passing now after I've heard it in the video, but I didn't
Oh,
hear it prior to that, which is strange. Um, but Like a Tattoo, Cherish the Days, incredible. Kiss of Life, amazing. Did not realize the MF Doom sample came from that song until I heard it. And then I'm like, oh, this is just, it's such a good thing.
yeah.
uh, Even the closer Mermaid, that instrumental track is just so nice. Just incredibly lush and sensual and powerful and just like easy listening, I would think too.
Yeah.
Um, Definitely got some like band stuff going on where the production is a little bit more complicated at certain parts. But it really just like it toes the line of traditional R&B and just like some really nice kind of like artsy rock, and that blend is just amazing. So yeah, this record's incredible. Let us know what Sade one we should do next. I'm not really sure where to go from here.
Yeah.
Um, I know Lovers Rock is very popular, but I've definitely seen Promise pop up here and there as well.
Mm.
But yeah, fantastic, near perfect, amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great record. I think, I don't know if I've listened to it since the reaction, but I think it got buried. I don't
Mhm.
remember, like, there was some stuff that was coming out around there that I was just like
Yeah,
really
that might have
into.
been a busy time.
Yeah. So I think I just missed it for whatever reason, but I do need to go back because I do love that record. I love Sade. I'm a white guy who wants to appear as an ally. So I love Sade. I love R&B music, and
Yeah,
I love neo
we did
soul.
Bon Iver right before Love Deluxe,
That would do it.
so that would
That
probably
would
be
do it.
why.
That would do it. But so sorry, Sade, if you're watching. I'm sure she is.
Of course.
She's a big fan of ours. We're big fans of her. So it works out. She's welcome on the show anytime. We'll react to one of her
Anytime.
records and then she can give
Yeah.
us commentary, which would be great.
We're such good interviewers. Trust us.
Absolutely.
I've done a total of 0 in my life.
I've done a few. I'm pretty good at it.
Okay. Okay.
My number one is Fleet Fox's Self-Titled.
Okay.
This is now one of my favorite records of all time. I think that every song on this is perfect. It's a rare thing. I think I maybe only have like 2 or 3 albums that I have as perfect 100s out of 100s. Off Dome, it's T-Pab and Self-Titled Fleet Foxes. Very different vibes, but man,
Flawless list, though.
of the
Can't
two,
criticize those two.
no, I can't think of. I'm sure there's others like Flag by James Taylor is probably a 100 out of 100. I listened to half of that record and then turned it off because I didn't like it.
But the cover is so cool.
The cover's cool. I used to have it on the wall. I don't right now, but it is a great cover. But yeah, self-titled Fleet Foxes, absolutely fantastic. Blue Ridge Mountains, one of the best songs ever made. And I really like the man. I really need to get better at learning track
It
titles.
flows so well together. It's hard.
Yeah, and this is one I always throw the whole record on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think like Blue Ridge Mountains into Oliver James, just an absolute perfect closer. And I think I was kind of like, I like White Winter Hymnal before. Like this was a song that I heard all the time because it was just like auto played every time I finished a Father John Misty record or something. And so then I was like, oh, I mean, it's all right. And then I was like, oh, but Sun It Rises into White Winter Hymnal, into Ragged Wood is just like, damn, I don't know how you do that, where it's like an absolutely perfect run. And there's like the whole album is perfect. I don't know. I can't think of a negative thing to say about it. So I'm very excited to finish up the Fleet Foxes discography with Shore. And I do need to go back to Crack Up a little bit. I've listened to it a couple times since the reaction, but I do need to go back and give it more attention. And I will do that right now. So,
Bye.
bye. Okay, that's all I have to say.
Neat. Yeah, that's a close second for me. I need to get it on record because I feel like that's really just gonna
Oh yeah, it's
be
perfect.
amazing.
And it comes with the EP.
That's true. We'll probably do that on the channel too.
Yeah.
They have 1 or 2 EPs. We'll do those before we do our discography thing.
I think it's just the one.
Interesting.
Sun Giant.
Okay. Sun Giant. One of their most popular songs is on that too, which is strange.
Yeah.
So
We'll get into
Mike
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mike and Oaks. Yep.
Okay. My number 1 is Mount Erie by the Microphones.
Of
I don't think
course.
that's much of a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep like punching myself because every time we do a Microphones or Mount Erie on the channel, it's the most difficult ones to get into. So you're just left there like, what do I do with this?
Yes.
Maybe we'll do an accessible one for you next year potentially. But yeah, this thing is fantastic. It is. I compare it to the Odyssey and just the scale of it. It just feels like a classic old tale of some guy just like taking this monumental quest and being faced with all the great giants and vultures and all these different things before actually meeting his demise on this one. But the structure of just the 5 songs that are just one gigantic song into a 41-minute adventure is just phenomenal. And then you take like the whole thing was recorded on tape loops and analog recording, which I don't know how you even do that. Like there's different drum sing things in the drum kit that are mic'd up to different mics and put in different channels. There's just so many like crazy details that someone like him who's obsessed with all this recording equipment could only put together. Solar System is one of my favorite songs of all time. I bear through the static insanity on the intro to get to the nice calm part of this perfect song. I just it's so good I have to withstand that every time. But it's just such a perfect song. I love the drums on the first track and just the chaos that it brings. It really does feel like a full concept, and the more you listen to it, the more it really just opens up to you. But yeah, all the different voices, the different characters, how quirky and funny but deep and raw it is just it's encompasses everything that I love about him, and it's very, very good. I think when it comes to his discography, this might not even crack the top five, but it's very, very, very good. So
Wow.
definitely not the one to get into for him, but if you're experienced with that kind of stuff, it'll definitely show you the way. But yeah, phenomenal. So Mount Erie to microphones number one.
Yeah, that was not a surprise. I was
Yeah, no,
driving home from work today and I'm like, that's gonna be his number one.
yeah,
I was trying to think of like what
it
your
has to be.
list is gonna be.
Yeah,
And I
it
didn't
was hard because there's a lot of good albums. I didn't
yeah,
I skipped over my honorable mention too, which was Mike Beware the Monkey.
that's a great
That album
record
is
too.
phenomenal. So
Yeah.
we got a new one coming out next month. So
Didn't he drop another one like a couple
he
months
did.
ago?
Yeah, Pinball doesn't stop.
Nope.
But yeah, that's our list for 2024. So let us know in the comments what things you want to see in 2025. I'm hoping there's not as many new releases we cover on the channel because I feel like we've strayed a bit from the discovering new stuff that is
Yeah.
not as known or not like that recent. I feel like that's the fun part about this is just finding a gem, and then like for me, there's always one that sparks an interest, which
Oh
becomes a
yeah.
gigantic rabbit hole and do an entire discography. It happens once a year. Don't know what it's gonna be next year, but let us know. We'll
Lonely
probably do some more
Island.
community stuff. Uh, we want to do a community video. We haven't done one in probably like a year and a half.
Yeah. It'll probably be in
Yeah,
like late January or early February.
probably. Yeah, I think our audience has shifted and morphed a little bit. I think there's more people that consistently watch us, which is what I was hoping for, instead of people just kind of stopping in for one video and leaving. So
Yeah.
we'll do some of that stuff. We got a Boney Bear discography review coming, Mount Erie discography video coming. We're gonna finish up Fleet Foxes and have one of those coming. So a lot of stuff coming. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
And next time the wheel's gonna be Guard Dog by Zeros.
True, we still
Lest
have
we
that part
forget.
back.
I don't know when we're gonna do that. Maybe after SZA.
It'll come up. Yeah, probably.
We'll see.
I know the weekend's dropping in late January too, so that's
Oh,
gonna
that's
be
true.
yeah,
Yeah. Busy, busy, busy.
never ends.
Nope.
We'll make room for that stuff though. I think community video we're definitely gonna start planning soon.
Oh
So we
yeah.
can do that for sure.
We have
So,
some ideas.
yes. Top 50 songs of all time. You all need to post all top 50. We're gonna review every single person's top 50.
That's gonna be like
12-hour video.
a decade long project.
Nah. We'll try not to be too ambitious.
Well, of course not. That's all I have to say.
We have a podcast.
Oh yeah. We do have a
Yes.
podcast. We just did
Top five.
a huge list week
Yes.
over
The
there.
longest list week, surprisingly.
Yeah, I know. We mostly talked about games, which is shocking.
Mm-hmm.
I did
Yeah.
not expect that to be our longest segment, but it was. So we did games and TV shows and hit films.
Real.
So check that out. It's about 3 hours long. But we had a lot to say. So, and I think it turned out pretty good.
Me too. I think.
I don't know.
I don't remember any of it.
You don't?
I was off of 3 different Percocets.
Oh.
I don't
Oh.
remember anything I said.
Oh. Well, that makes two of us. I was on that walkie.
Oh,
2 caps.
dang.
I know.
Double cup too, I'm sure.
Of course. Yeah. I was double fisting it.
Mm. That's why there's long portions of the podcast where nobody's talking because you're just sipping and I'm nodding out.
Yeah. That was probably not the best decision to do that before a podcast, but
It was the end of the year. It was a celebration.
yeah. I mean, I did start the podcast being like, hey, relax, get the fireplace.
That's true.
And yeah, as I was saying that, I
Relaxed a
was,
little bit too hard.
I think I might have, but it's okay. It's not like I had work the
Oh, well.
next day.
Yeah,
I mean, I did.
we're both
but-
unemployed.
well, yeah.
This is our job. We make 30 cents an hour. That's not true. We make
Nothing.
$1 every 3 months.
It's a good gig.
It's a very good gig. Don't quit your day job, except if you're us.
Yeah.
because we're awesome.
We
And I
make
have a
do.
trust fund.
Yeah, that's true. We inherited
Mhm.
all of our wealth from daddy.
Daddy.
Okay.
Well, that's it. Bye.